they are nurturing people's minds to get into this mindset that if it does not go their way, if Derek Chauvin is not proven guilty, boom. And that's why this isn't funny anymore. This is not a joke. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Right now, America is on its toes, waiting to see what the verdict is on if Chauvin was the cause of death for George Floyd, or if it was something else, like fentanyl or meth. Stuff that kills people all the time. In my opinion, the prosecution's case so far has been shot down like a Texan would shoot down a dove in September. Make a few good jalapeno poppers. Almost every witness that they have brought up to testify, and some of them have been paid, have done a terrible job in proving that what happened was beyond a reasonable doubt. It's not about, well, what he did, should we fire him for that? Or is it just not a part of our ethical program here? No, it's beyond a reasonable doubt on if he was the one that caused the death. One example is this ER doctor who testifies, who, one, looks like he either didn't get any sleep the night before, or he's using the same drugs that George Floyd was using. Looks totally zonked out. But his testimony became completely null and void when he's asked this.
Was your leading theory then for the cause of Mr. Floyd's cardiac arrest oxygen deficiency?
That was one of the more likely possibilities.
There are many things that cause hypoxia that would still be considered asphyxiation. Agreed?
Correct.
Drug use. Certain drugs can cause hypoxia. Agreed? Yes. Specifically fentanyl?
That's correct.
How about methamphetamine?
It can.
Combination of the two?
Yes.
So before that, he said that the most likely cause of death was asphyxia. But Chauvin's lawyer basically said, does fentanyl cause asphyxia? Yes, it does. There goes your beyond the reasonable doubt. Then you get the police chief of the Minneapolis Police Department, who once again is testifying against Chauvin. He's the guy who fired him. He thinks everything he did is completely wrong. And Chauvin's attorney, who has been killing it this entire time, gets the police chief to admit that Chauvin was actually on Floyd's shoulder blade and not his neck.
It appears that Officer Chauvin's knee was more on Mr. Floyd's shoulder blade.
Yes.
This is a huge witness for the prosecution. This is the chief of the entire Minneapolis Police Department. So what he says is taken pretty seriously by the jury. And his whole thing's just shot down when he admits to that. And notice how he's so hesitant to say it, because he knows that now they're screwed. There's no beyond a reasonable doubt in that situation. So what this does is it leads to the prosecution really not having that strong of a case at all against Derek Chauvin. And what that does is it leads us into the biggest problem of all. It is not the verdict going one way or another. It's not if he's innocent or guilty. The problem is that the media has been painting a narrative as far as how this whole court proceeding has gone. Imagine that! But this time it's not funny. This time it's not something to joke around about. They have said multiple times that the defense has no case and that the prosecution just has a slam dunk case against him. And all you need to do is look at the 8-minute 45-second video that somebody took of George Floyd on the ground, and you'll know that Derek Chauvin's guilty. What is happening when the media is doing that, and what is happening currently, is that people who watch CNN, the people who watch MSNBC, all of these big news companies, they just believe it. Oh man, CNN said this, so it must be true. Here's the problem. It is manipulating people's brains, and it is setting an environment for chaos. Let me explain. Imagine your favorite baseball team is in the World Series this year. You're at work, so you can't watch the game. So you have one of your buddies text you the play-by-play score of the game. The only problem is that your buddy is a jackass and he's texting you BS. And he tells you that your favorite team is up 12-0 in the bottom of the fifth. So in your mind, you're thinking, hell yeah, we won, I can chill at work, whatever. But in reality, the game's actually tied 5-5, and it can go either way at this point. Now imagine if you're that guy and you find out that your favorite team loses after being told all of this BS about how they're so far ahead. Hell, if you work at a drive-thru, you're probably hitting the dude waiting for his food in the head with your phone. Everybody remembers what America was like in 2020 after the incident that involved George Floyd. There were riots like no one's business. There were businesses destroyed. Hundreds of millions of dollars in damages. Now imagine if you're those people that pissed off about that situation, and the guy that you think did it walks away innocent. When a media company that's all you watch have been telling you this entire time, oh man, it's a slam dunk, we're good, he's going to jail, all this. That is the problem with the media in the United States. Y'all think that you're protecting people. Y'all think that you're doing us a favor. Y'all think that the left side of America can't handle the truth. No, this is a huge issue. This is a super high profile case. But it is becoming, and it will become astronomical if these companies continue to lie by omission and say that this thing is just a slam dunk, because it's not. And you're gonna get all these people riled up, and then if something comes out to where it's not what they want to hear other than guilty, all I gotta say is that if you live in a big city or even a suburb and Derek Chauvin is proven innocent, it will look like a war zone. It's gonna make the riots and all that stuff in 2020 look like a cakewalk. So prepare yourself. This isn't a joke anymore, and media companies, you need to honestly look at what you're doing, because you're pouring gasoline over a fire.